Hi, everybody. This is Margie, and I want to welcome you to the A to Z LinkedIn training for the second quarter of 2016. A big hello to my new attendees, and a welcome back to the alum. This training is an investment in knowing how to use LinkedIn for your unique businesses. And LinkedIn has been described as a Rolodex of over 400 million contacts. I love that description. And they're just sitting there waiting for you. I'm sure there's a few matches in that 400 million. And LinkedIn is also a collection of platforms from which you can make connections to these contacts in one of two primary ways. The first way is to be found. And you can position yourself so your best prospects find you and contact you. And I know some of you are loving that idea. You can also, the second way, is target and go after the contacts you wish to connect with. And I know some of you like that idea. So you're going to learn both ways in this training, plus a lot more. And again, I know without any doubt that you're all going to be glad you decided to take the time to do the training. LinkedIn is rich with strategies for opening new doors, making new connections, and solidifying old ones. And there is value for each and every one of you here on the training. You're going to learn proven strategies, you're going to learn technical know-how, and you're going to learn how to be creative. Once you learn all the pieces of LinkedIn, you can come up with some amazing ideas. And it's important to know that this is not a system. This training is meant to enable you to create your own system for using LinkedIn, what's best for your business and what's best for your selling style. There are other systems out there, and you may choose to follow this training by using one of them. The different trainings are all good, but some are better matched, again, for different businesses and different selling styles. So you take the A to Z training and you do want to pursue another system, you'll know which one to choose before you get into it and find out too late. This isn't really for me. So I'm Margie Hanson. Some of you know me better than others, so let me do a quick intro. I come from New England. I was born and raised on a vegetable farm, and I've had an eclectic background. I'm not going to bore you with the details, but what is pertinent in those details is in the late 70s, I found myself landing in L.A. Without a job, and I discovered the telecommunications industry in its infancy at that time. And so I got into voice and data networking in the very, very beginning. I had a really unique experience. I had a front row seat in all the changes that the business is seeing and now the layperson sees. And I worked with the Internet since its inception into the private sector after it had its real beginnings in the military. And I come to you with over 25 years of corporate experience in consultative sales. That was identifying, designing, and selling million-dollar voice and data networks. And this was a career that evolved over those 25 years, but it turned into a series of jobs as Wall Street got more and more into the tech industry. And I found myself in a sales job. You were given a phone, a desk, and a quota. And the more successful you were, the higher the quota. And I just said, enough. I can do this on my own and without the pressure, because I honestly couldn't plan a noon lunch at 11 and know I could make the noon lunch unless it was going to be a signed contract with somebody. So I started out on my own. In 2000, I incorporated Communicating Today's Way. And I initiated that company I taught myself HTML programming and did website design. But because my corporate experience, those multi-million-dollar networks, a lot of communications went behind those. Consultative sales is good communications, matching needs to solutions and all that comes with that. So that was my skill. And so I distinguished myself as a website designer. And back then, most businesses did not know why they even needed a website. But I said I would help them with their content or do their content. So they loved that. And I also did one-to-one email workshops to help businesses know how to use this new email resource, and online newsletters, why you needed a newsletter, how to make one, and now social media. So proposal writing, sales letters, making complex sales presentations easy to understand, matching needs to solutions, strategizing, those are my strengths in corporate, and I bring them with me here today at Today's Way. by always, throughout the years and now, my focus is on content messaging and making connections to buyers, and what I want to help you achieve here for this training. So I'm excited to have you here. And again, it's rich with content. The idea of an A to Z training is that each business is different, and here you're going to get to see all that's available to you via LinkedIn. And some of the same exact features will be used differently by different businesses. Again, the same feature, but you'll use it differently depending on your type of business. And some of you will learn about features that you will love, and those same features a few of you will have no interest in using. But at the end of the training, you'll know which one is best for you. So I promise to go slowly, and today I recommend that you simply watch and listen as I go over everything. Maybe make a few notes, but don't be note intensive. Tomorrow you will get a video recording, or maybe later today, from YouTube recording, and then you can sit down and take notes. You'll also receive an MP3 audio that is great to listen to while you're in your own account and try a few things out. Should you have questions, there's a live Q&A at the end of the session, every session, and there's a private Facebook group where you can leave questions. It's open, actually newsflash, for the alumni as well as the new people. I used to open and close it for a session, training session, but I'm going to leave it open. It's going to be continually available as a private Facebook group for A to Z trainees. It's got some good information on it. I couldn't delete it. And so I'm just going to leave it up there. If you haven't gone into the Facebook group, you'll all get a link to it when you get your recordings, and just ask to be a member. And scroll through it, see what's there. There's some good stuff already. And I get notified when you leave a post, so I can answer rather quickly. And you can all feel free to answer each other's questions as well. Build a little community that way. I mentioned that you have we have alumni on the call with us, and I don't know if the newbies noticed when they bought or enrolled that with each enrollment comes 3 more enrollments. So I give this training quarterly, and whenever you initially enroll or join us, you get to attend the next 3 quarter offerings automatically. It's included in the price. And why do I do that? Number one, LinkedIn has changes that they have happened quite often. So I don't want you to invest money and time only to find out a few weeks later that some piece of what you learned has changed totally or partly. So you can come back and learn what the changes are. If you don't know beforehand, it's just a resource for you, or the Facebook group. And I figure after you've had it 4 times, you'll know how to keep on top of the changes on your own. Also, I want you to learn LinkedIn. You can't learn it all in one sitting. You're not going to implement it all. You have to implement it in pieces. So I want it to be available to you. Yes, you have the recordings, but I want you to have a fresh version of it and really get strong on using LinkedIn, and I want you to know all that it makes available to you. Right now, it's got a wealth of information. It used to have even more, and they closed a lot of what they provided because people were not using it. People did not use it because they did not know it was there. So I'm dedicated to having people know what LinkedIn offers because they offer you so much and for free. So let's see. The training also has 6 sessions, and the first one is the home page today. I'm going to take you over there so you can stop looking at the Start Meeting page. And then following that, next week is the profile. Most of the sessions are 60 minutes. You want to allow 90 minutes, but next week, at least 90 minutes for the profile section. That is very valuable. And then we'll have Q&A, so maybe allow 2 hours or an hour and 45 minutes. But most of them are over in 90 minutes or less. And the next week is contacts, connections, and followers, how to make contacts by going after them and by being found, very important one. And then the next one is groups, and the next one is the company page and showcase pages. And the last week is your status updates, published posts, settings, tools, a little bit of a review. So jam-packed. Each one is tremendous in its value. So fasten your seatbelts. Okay. So let's start with today's training. This is the home page, my account. And whenever you log into LinkedIn, you will land on your home page. So that's why I make it be the first session of the training. And if you don't know already, LinkedIn is based upon that old theory of 6 degrees of separation. We're all connected to each other by no more than 6 different links between people. Well, LinkedIn is based upon 3 layers of links, but that's more than enough to keep you very busy, as you'll discover. Okay, we're going to be coming back to the home page throughout the training, so it's kind of a little bit of a hub, although your profile page is a big hub. But we're just going to go through, and as we go through the home page, you're going to get to see what lies within the depthness of LinkedIn. So we're going to get started right at the top here. And this information here across the top appears on every single page of your LinkedIn account. No matter where you go, you'll have this at the top. And this is a search window. It says search for people, jobs, companies, and more. And if you hit the drop down over here to the left, it will give you access to the different sections of LinkedIn. All of LinkedIn, people, jobs, companies, groups, universities, posts. These are the published posts. And the inbox is the LinkedIn email system. So within this search window, you can type any keyword or any keyword phrase, choose where you want to find it written, whatever is in these sections where that keyword appears, and search. A little tip, you have to click this little icon here to have the search activate. You can't do enter, you have to click this, okay? You can sit there wondering what's going on. You have to click that, so there's a little tip. And you can use the Boolean search in this search window. Now, if you don't know what Boolean search is, you can Google it. It's B-O-O-L-E-A-N. But basically, if you were searching for dogs, well, you know how dogs and cats show up a lot in the same phrase? Well, you can do dogs and put and not cats. So the and not is part of Boolean search. It's a way to filter your search of keywords and keyword phrases. So if you did dogs and not cats, you would get all the places dogs were mentioned by itself. I hope that makes sense, okay. But Boolean search is great. So when we start looking at contacts and connections next week, you'll really understand the value of that being supported here. And we're going to come back to the search window throughout all the trainings. It's going to be one of your best friends. Okay, over here is a little advanced link. And the advanced search provides you with a lot of targeted ability we will talk about in 2 weeks, but it goes down to within a mile radius of a zip code. So those of you with local concerns, you can have that addressed within LinkedIn. To the right of this is some small icons here. This is going to be your favorite corner. When you log into LinkedIn, you're going to go here and see what's been going on since you were last here. This little icon underneath that red box is kind of like a bubble, is to the LinkedIn email system. And this number in the red box is over 300 because I have that many unopened. I probably glanced at them here, but I didn't go and click them open in the inbox, so I have to clean that out. But if I got a new email from LinkedIn, it would show 1, 2, or 3. So I would know automatically I have a new email that came into me here via LinkedIn. This flag is your notifications. And notifications are real-time notifications to let you know when people comment on or like a LinkedIn posting, a published post that you've done. As we go through here, let's see, I just got approved to join a group. Someone replied to my comment on his post. He mentioned my name in that comment. He liked my comment. Someone commented on a conversation in a group that I have made a comment on, so they keep me updated. These are per my settings, by the way. You can address these settings, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Here's somebody who looked at my, let me go here. Let me scroll down here. Sharon McLean, she looked at my profile. We'll talk about that a little bit today. People commented on a conversation in a group. If someone published a post, that's a big one that shows here. but I don't see any that are showing up. So notifications, when something new comes in, you'll see a red box with 1, 2, 3. How many new notifications since the last time you were on your account? So another reason to look in this upper right-hand corner here. Okay, and then next is a silhouette of a head. And guess what? This is where you have a new connection waiting for you, a pending invitation. So I have one. The reason it's not showing a little red box is I already had clicked on it, okay? And so I have one pending invitation that I have to check her out. I haven't checked her out yet, but we'll talk about that in 2 weeks, how we do that. And if I had no pending invitations, it would just show me people that I may know here. LinkedIn is constantly putting other people that are members of LinkedIn in front of you that you are not connected to. They're making people be visible. So don't get annoyed with it. I don't happen to know any of these people, but sometimes they do show me people I know. But the other side of the coin is they're showing you to people too. So you're getting visibility. All the different ways you're going to discover LinkedIn puts people in front of you. You're included in that on other people's accounts. You're being shown. So I've learned to love it. But anyway, this is where you would go to find, receive new connection request. And there's also a page here that this connects to where you can see any of your outstanding invitations that people haven't responded to. So you get to, there's a whole management capability of invitations you've extended and invitations you've received. This is a little icon of whatever you load as your profile headshot, and it's mostly your account information. This is where you can upgrade. The account the paid for subscription you would want is $60 a month should you choose to go that route. I will show you as we go through the training what that would provide you. It's very little in terms of what you get for free, but sometimes that one or two things makes it worth it. But if you're just starting out, there is so much free on LinkedIn that there's really no need to ever pay for a paid-for subscription. And I have a reason to upgrade. I've kept it free, though, and I'm quite content. I can manage without why I would want to upgrade because of the training. I don't want to muddy the waters. I want you to see what is available with just a free account. So you'll discover there's lots to be had for free. Job posting is just a way to get to that section. Another way, company page, another way. You can change the language of your account. The privacy settings are here. I saved that for the last session because you don't know what you want till you learn what you'll get, okay? You might think you don't want things to be shown, and once you learn all the ins and outs of LinkedIn and how these strategies work, you'll say, I want it to be shown. So sit tight with me on that, and when you know LinkedIn, then you can make your setting adjustments. And that's one of the new things. There's my little one thing. Okay, that relit when I refresh the page because I haven't answered it yet. So it stays there. Okay. Let's have a little nimbus show up in the red squares. Okay. All right. So that's along the very top. All that information just up there. Now we go to the second row where you have your navigation links. And the home page we're on. The profile is next week. We're going to learn how to edit the profile. I'm going to get to who viewed your profile and your updates a little bit in this home page review today, and, of course, in depth next week. My network in 2 weeks. Your connections, add contacts, people you know, alumni. That'll all be in 2 weeks. Jobs, I include that with the groups, and I don't think it's listed in your itinerary. Not that you're looking for a job. We're all looking for business, which in essence is a job. But the reason the job section can be useful, there's multiple reasons. So I'm going to go over what you find in a job listing that you can get creative with for using for your own strategies and your own systems. So save that. That's going to be in what's groups in 4 weeks. Okay. Interest. Companies, this is your Business page, you can create a business page on LinkedIn now. Everyone has to have a personal account, has to be in your name, but then you can make a company page is what they call it. And each company page can also have up to 10 showcase pages where you can highlight up to 10 of your individual products or your individual services. These pages are ideal for search engine optimization. So that's, if you like that idea, or you want people to follow just one section of your business with your updates, it's mostly status updates and posts on these pages. People can follow, let's say that you have a spa and you have massages and you have facials and you have manicures and pedicures and somebody's only interested in massage. They can follow your showcase page and just learn about massage. They don't have to be receiving posts about everything else. And little tip, everything you post goes directly and rapidly to Google search engines. So we'll get to that. Groups are, LinkedIn's famous for its groups. They just revised the groups to make them be more private and inspire people to engage more openly and less advertising on there. And because of that, they've upped the number of groups you can belong to 100. And the magic of groups is you can email, as long as people make their settings allow it, which most people do, anybody in a group, even if they're not a connection. So groups are wonderful for reaching out to people you might never have even thought of reaching out to. Groups are wonderful for getting visibility without trying to, without going after people, to have people find you and come to you. So groups are magical. So that's in 4 weeks. Under groups is Pulse. That's week 6. That's the published post, and that's exciting. That's a ton of visibility for you. So don't miss any of these sessions. We used to have after Pulse. Let me tell you a little bit about Pulse. I just looked at my notes. Pulse is a source, besides your published posts, it's a source of professional news that's tailored to industries. So a lot of the articles are created by LinkedIn influencers, and those are approximately 500 people who've been invited to publish on LinkedIn as leaders in their industries. So there's a broad topic of different interests, large scope of topics of interest, such as leadership, management, hiring and firing, disruption, how to succeed. And it's a great source of getting news, getting ideas, following influencers, being able to comment and perhaps create direct relationships with the influencers. And the influencers of some very famous people that you all know the names of quite well as some not so well-known people that are extremely successful with what they do. And Pulse is also where you get your published posts published and where you get a lot of visibility within LinkedIn. So stay tuned for that one. Now, there used to be, all you alum, after Pulse, education. And that's now not there anymore, but it hasn't gone away, but it's not in the drop-down. It goes right to SlideShare, which we talk about in the 6th session. LinkedIn has always supported SlideShare. They now own it. LearningIsLynda.com. LinkedIn bought that. And ProFinder is new. Just to give you a little appetizer, it's where you can list yourself, be vetted by some LinkedIn professionals to be available for specific job requests. So a way to, and it's kind of a filter for people looking actively for people who do what you do. You can be highlighted by LinkedIn as someone to hire for specific needs. So we'll talk more about that in the 6th section as well. Okay, so that's, over here is the business services. These are all paid for services. I don't get into that. Post a job. It's very expensive to post a job, and if any of you are hiring, you can do it for free in your status updates. I think over $300, I think. Talent Solutions, advertise is very expensive on LinkedIn. Sales Solutions, these are all paid for. I have all small business people that have enrolled in this training, so it's not for a small business person to worry about till you get everything else I'm going to teach you under your belt. Then maybe you want to go here. You'll have the bucks. This is where you go to upgrade if you wanted to. Okay. All right, moving down, now we have this little square here. And this is your profile headshot, and you will learn more about that next week. But you want to have a profile headshot, you should make it be branded to your type of business. It should be professional. But if you never show up in a suit and tie, don't have your profile be in a suit and tie. Have it be you, but have one. If you don't have a headshot, don't even try to think about the idea of being successful on LinkedIn. There's just no point in it. You won't be. Yeah, that's all there is to it. So get some type of a headshot together and load it up there. You can do it from your phone. If you can get a professional one done, that's nice too. But think about what brand you, and we'll talk more in detail next week about different ways of branding yourself in your profile headshot. And then this little line here is key. We're going to talk about that next week in depth, but this identifies you in multiple places throughout LinkedIn. If you're wondering how I got those little lines in there, it's on the private Facebook group. There's a post about how you can put those lines in there plus more. And then there's a little link here to your recent activity. I'm going to click this open. This gives me a list of all my posts. Some of you might have done a post in the homepage live feed and couldn't find it again. It does go away, but it's here. It's under your recent activity. So you can see everything you did when you did it, the time. You can delete it. You can copy a link. But it gives you, this was 17 hours ago, 1 day ago. And then here are all of the published posts that you do. And you get to see stats on all your published posts, what's going on with those, any draft published posts that you have, and then your follow. We're going to get into connections and followers next week. But what's neat about showing you this link right now is you'll get a breakdown by seniority, industry, and region of your connections and followers. So you'll see where you might want to start filling in a little bit of gaps in your connections. I was going through mine individually to send out emails, and I've got a lot of connections, and I'm not sure why I have them. They've accumulated over the years, and they're really not what I want today. So I have set new goals for myself to fill in some areas within my database that I want to have filled in. So right now I have mostly senior executive people, and then I have owners next. My industry, marketing and advertising, most of my people who do what I do are in my network. Here is health, wellness, and fitness, which is another interest of mine. And then over here, regions mostly are in LA, of course. And next to LA, not really much here. Most of them are all LA connections, New York. So you get to see an idea of how you're spread out. So I think that's pretty cool. LinkedIn does give you just what you need. It doesn't do overkill in statistics. Company pages and showcase pages are fantastic in stats. But it gives you what you need, what's of value, and what counts. Not a lot of fill-in just to look good or to have a chart. Just gives you what counts. So, again, yay LinkedIn. Up here is who viewed your profile. We're going to learn next week why that's really important, who's looking at your profile, and you people who like to be found. This is something you want to check in with daily. Give you some strategies for that next week. And people who viewed your post. Right now this is talking about my most recent published post. But it will show me exactly who viewed it. I get to see who. I get stats, and I get to see the industry, but I get to see the names. Do I set to see who viewed it? I think I do. I'm going to have to look at that right now. I'm thinking of too many things at once. But sometimes it will change from your published post to a status update. So this will alternate between published posts and status update, depending how long the interval is between your published post. Okay, and I know you do get to see. I just not show the location, but you do get to see who's viewed your post. And then down here, And this third row here is where you do your updates. If we scroll down, and I'm sure all of you already know this, on the home page is a live feed of posts, much like all your other social networks that you belong to, your Facebook, your Twitters, your Google+. And this is where you go to create the post that will show up on the live feed, called Share and Update. And you can add a photo here, or you can upload a photo to it here. If you just have a photo, you can just add a photo here, or you can click here to upload a photo. It's kind of a duplication here, so don't worry about that, okay? And that's where you share for the live feed. Publish a post is where you publish a post for the Pulse, okay? If we go to Pulse, you see all these published posts here, okay? And they're meant to be mini blog articles, white papers, things to make you appear as a professional and expert in your industry. We'll talk more about it in the 6th session. But this is publish a post. This is share an update on the home feed, okay? Home feed on the left, publish a post, and Pulse on the right. Okay, and on your home feed you get, I want to point out, let me move this down. It's my little control there that I just moved on the right. Right here there are 3 little dots, little tiny dots in there. If you put your cursor over them, you have top updates or recent updates. If you do recent updates, you see everything that's been assigned to your home feed. And Pulse, I have different categories I follow, so Pulse will feed me the top stories and the categories I'm interested in right off the bat in my home feed. And then you get to see this is a sponsored post. Somebody paid for that. This is one of my connections. This is one of my connections has a new connection. New connections. This is somebody shared somebody else's post. This is new connections. Tell it's Monday. See anyone you know. LinkedIn recommending people to me in the middle there. Another sponsored link. You get a variety of information in your live feed. You can control that via the settings. And again, I don't do the settings until the end, so you know what you want and what you don't want. Okay. I let everything roll. I don't want to miss anything. So, but you might have different ideas. But you need to at least learn the options before you shut yourself off from what can happen. And then moving over here is another way that LinkedIn keeps you in front of people. They have 13 ways to keep in touch. This is one of the locations for this. You're going to learn more locations when we talk about connections in 2 weeks. But here's one of my connections has a work anniversary, so I can like it, I can comment on it, or I can skip. If I skip, it comes back to me. So I'm going to skip because I might want to send him a message. Then I have Wander Wood has a work anniversary. I might just like that. And then I've got Dr. Deborah Cooper has a work. So there's 11 more of these. Sometimes it's a birthday. Let me skip here. A work anniversary, has a work anniversary, has a work anniversary. Okay, sometimes it's a birthday. Sometimes it's added to their profile. But it gives you an option to connect, to be in front of them. They're in front of you, so you're reminded of them. And you can respond with just a like or a comment and be in front of them. So otherwise you wouldn't have thought about it. So I love LinkedIn for that. And when you finish the 7 ways to keep in touch, if I run out of that, it will go back to what's shown here, the people I may know down the bottom here. It will just give me people I might know. So revert to that. And, of course, this is an ad. Somebody paid for this ad here. So that is the home page in the nutshell. It is full of access to all the different locations within LinkedIn. And I hope I didn't talk too fast. I just looked at the clock. But this will be the shortest training of the 6, trust me. So I'm going to shut the recording off and see if there's any questions on the training today, and we'll stay alive for live Q&A. And meanwhile, I will see you next week. Next week will be a longer training, is the profile page. So I look forward to the Q&A coming up in just a minute, and go to the Facebook group, and I'll see you there during the week, if not before the actual session next week. Thanks. Welcome.